Have you ever imagined a night of celebration turning into a night of terror? What could happen if a dark secret lurked among the bells of the new year? Our story today is not fictional, it's real and happened on New Year's Eve. So, what happened, and why are people still talking about it? Emily was a young woman who loved adventures. On New Year's Eve in 1999, she decided to spend the night in an unconventional way. She had heard about an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Rumor had it the house was haunted, and strange noises echoed from it at midnight. Her curiosity got the best of her, and she convinced her friends to join her in exploring the place. They arrived at the house just before midnight. The air was cold, and an eerie silence blanketed the area, as if warning them not to enter. As the clock neared the new year, they pushed open the rusty door and stepped inside. From the start, things felt off. The candlelight they carried seemed to grow dimmer the further they ventured. The walls were covered in strange drawings, almost like warnings in an unknown language. Then, the moment came that changed everything. At 11:59 p.m., the ground began to tremble unnaturally, and faint laughter echoed around them, seeming to come from the walls themselves. They tried to escape, but the door they had left open was now tightly shut. A shadowy figure appeared at the end of the hallway. It looked like a person, but its features were indistinct, as though it were made of darkness and smoke. A deep voice spoke. "You should not have come here tonight. Now you will never leave." They screamed for help, but their voices were swallowed by the darkness.
Help me!
Suddenly, the candles went out, leaving only silence. As the clock struck midnight, Emily woke up alone on the road in front of the house. When she turned back, the house was gone. Her friends had vanished without a trace, never to be found. What really happened that night? Was it just an illusion, or was the house truly haunted? That night left Emily with a memory she could never forget, but it also raised an important question. Is curiosity always a good thing? Now, do you have the courage to explore an abandoned place on a night like this? Let us know in the comments. Have you ever imagined a New Year's Eve celebration turning into an unforgettable nightmare? How can a small town witness an event that changes everything in just moments? This is not just a story, it's a real, chilling mystery that happened on New Year's Eve and remains unsolved to this day. Get ready to uncover one of the strangest and most horrifying cases ever recorded. In a small town in upstate New York, everyone was preparing to welcome the new year. Lights adorned the streets, and laughter echoed from homes. Among the cheerful atmosphere, Marcus and his family hosted a party at their luxurious house, surrounded by friends and loved ones. As the clock approached midnight and the countdown began, the power suddenly went out. Everyone assumed it was a minor issue, but then strange things started happening. Faint footsteps could be heard coming from the basement, even though the house was securely locked. Marcus decided to check it out himself, but never came back. After waiting for several minutes, one of the guests went downstairs to look for him. What they found was shocking. Marcus was lying motionless on the basement floor, with strange symbols carved into the ground around him, as if part of an eerie ritual. The terror didn't end there. The party guests started receiving mysterious text messages on their phones, all signed with the phrase, "The Final Hour." These messages revealed deeply personal secrets about each guest, secrets no one else could have known. One of the guests, a former detective, tried to decipher the symbols on the ground. Suddenly he collapsed and muttered in a strained voice, "This is no ordinary incident, it's something sinister." By dawn, after hours of fear and confusion, all the evidence mysteriously vanished. The police found no traces of the events, and the house looked as if nothing had happened. The only thing left behind was the lingering fear that gripped everyone, and one burning question: who or what was responsible for that horrifying night? Life is full of mysteries we cannot explain. Perhaps this incident serves as a reminder that the world isn't always as it seems. But here's the question: are you ready to face the unknown? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you have a similar terrifying story? Can New Year's wishes turn into never-ending nightmares? On New Year's Eve of 2022, a mysterious incident shook a small town. What happened to turn moments of celebration into a dark, unforgettable night? Brace yourself, because this story isn't for the faint-hearted. In a small town in Minnesota, a family of 5 decided to spend New Year's Eve in a secluded cabin deep in the woods. The cabin was locally known as the Wish Cabin, where legend claimed that anyone who celebrated there would have their deepest wish come true. The family, excited about the idea, eagerly anticipated their night, surrounded by the serene beauty of nature. As the clock struck midnight, marking the beginning of the new year, the mother, Emma, decided to write her wish on a small piece of paper and toss it into the cabin's fireplace, following the local legend. The rest of the family followed suit. But moments later, strange things began to happen. The wind outside grew unnaturally fierce, and eerie whispers echoed within the cabin. The father, John, tried to calm everyone down, but he noticed that the cabin door opened and closed as if pushed by an invisible force. Suddenly, the lights went out, and the family huddled together by the fireplace, trembling with fear. At that moment, glowing, strange symbols began to appear on the cabin walls, as though written in an ancient language. A chilling message emerged: "Your wishes come at a price." Everyone froze in place. The terror escalated when the family realized their youngest member, Lily, had vanished without a trace. Desperate, eventually they found her doll lying near the fireplace, along with a message that read, "My wish
is family,
but you took my place." Emma realized with horror that her wish to have the family reunited forever had backfired. The cabin seemed to interpret wishes in its own sinister way, granting them at the expense of others. The following morning, the family found the cabin eerily empty, as if it had never witnessed the horrifying events of the night. Lily was gone, and the curse of the cabin seemed to follow them, with whispers haunting them wherever they went. The legend says that the Wish Cabin only appears to those with grand dreams, but demands a price that no one is willing to pay. So, here's the question: would you dare to make your wish if the cost was a soul? In a quiet village in Eastern Europe, a mysterious and terrifying incident took place on New Year's Eve 2021. A simple celebration turned into an unsolved mystery. What really happened that night? And who or what was behind the darkness? Get ready to uncover the chilling details. In a small snow-covered village, 4 friends decided to celebrate New Year's Eve in an abandoned house known as the Lantern House. The house had been deserted for decades, and local legends claimed that anyone who entered it on that specific night would disappear without a trace. Determined to debunk the myth, the friends were excited to spend the night there and document their experience for social media. Upon arrival, the house stood eerily silent, with cracked walls and windows that reflected the moonlight ominously. As midnight approached, they found 4 antique lanterns in the house. Following the old tradition, they decided to light each lantern. However, as they lit the first one, the lights in the house suddenly went out, plunging them into complete darkness. Flashlights and phones failed to work. Then, strange things began to happen. Footsteps echoed from the upper floor, though they were sure they were alone. Windows creaked open and shut on their own. One of the friends, Sam, screamed, claiming he had seen a reflection of an unfamiliar face in a broken hallway mirror. Fear gripped the group, and they decided to leave immediately. But the front door wouldn't budge. It was locked from the inside, and all their efforts to break it open failed. That's when Lina, one of the girls, suggested finishing the ritual by lighting all the lanterns to break the supposed curse. As they lit the final lantern, the house began to tremble, and glowing symbols appeared on the walls, spelling out, "You've entered our world, and there's no way out." At dawn, the four friends were found in a state of shock on the village's main road. None of them remembered how they got out of the house. However, the strangest part was that one of them, Mark, was missing without a trace. His jacket, left behind in the house, bore a chilling handwritten message. "The lantern chose me." To this day, locals say that anyone who lights the 4 lanterns in the lantern house will lose one of their own as an offering to the house's spirit. Would you dare to enter the lantern house on New Year's Eve? Or do you believe that some legends are better left untouched? Do you think the lanterns were the key? If this story's intrigued you and you want more mysterious and spine-chilling tales, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and share your New Year's wish in the comments.